Hearing a lot about this ship that's been missing for more than 2 weeks now. It's been reported that people disguised as police actually attacked the ship and tied up the crew before it went missing. Now, as time ticks by, many are shocked that the ship still hasn't been located. Well, joining me to discuss the situation is Joe Cox, President and CEO of Chambers Shipping of America. Joe, thanks so much for joining me.
Pleasure. Thank you very much for the invitation.
First of all, if you could just tell me about what you think actually happened to the ship and its crew.
Well, before I go into that, I should say that I graduated from the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy here in the United States, and went to sea for a number of years before I became president of the Chambers Shipping of America after a few stops at intermediate jobs. But I have a real affinity for the people who run the ships. And I think that the key to trying to get to the bottom of what happened here may be trying to find out who the crew are, who the family of the crew are, and trying to contact them, because I think there's a lot of conjecture going on. I don't know what happened to the vessel, but following the reports so far, I don't think that it could have been anything damage to the vessel, sinking, any type of an attack like that. There are just too many protections on the vessel, which would give us an indication that something untoward had happened to the ship.
And how common is it for an attack like this to happen in that area? You know, earlier in the year we heard that, you know, there were some piracy attacks off the coast of Africa. But what about in this region? Is this common? No,
of course not. It's maybe 400 years ago there were piracy attacks in the European waters. But no, this is extraordinary. That's why I think that we have to take cum grano salutis some of the views that are coming out as to what may or may not have taken place.
And it's been reported that there was around $2 million worth of lumber on the ship. Do you think that there could have been something else on the ship, too, that maybe these so-called pirates were going after? Do you think there could have been any kind of secret cargo?
I doubt it. Although there's always transport of illegal materials. But why, in this case, would the illegal materials be on a ship that's slow and small and well, maybe so. Maybe it's hidden in the process. But
so why do you think that these so-called pirates attacked the ship?
Well, I don't know the pirates attacked it. I don't know that I would call them pirates. I mean, if something like that took place, I would think more along the lines of maybe some type of governmental intervention at a very high level for another purpose other than piracy. Maybe ascertaining whether or not there was some contraband on board the vessel. But it seems to me that if you let the vessel go, then the answer to that issue has been now put behind us. Now we say, what happened to the ship after that? I mean, she had 15 people on board. There was a message that she was stopped. Let's accept that as truth for the time being. They stopped the vessel. They tie up the crew or whatever they do. They herd them into one room, and then they search the vessel, and then they disappear. No problem. So what happened to the vessel after that? She passed through Dover because the British control processes said she passed through, gave them messages. No indication of anything negative associated with that. Gets down to Brest, suddenly we've got a problem.
You know, really quickly, how in the 21st century, with all this technology and all this satellite tracking devices, can we actually lose a ship? How come we haven't been able to locate it?
You can't lose it unless she wants to be lost, because there's too many automatic systems on board the ship.
So are you saying that maybe the people on board might have wanted to
There had to be some inclusion of them, because you have an AIS system on board, automatic identification system, which can be turned off by the vessel. If something happened to the vessel could press a button to send a radio beacon alert outside of the AIS system. This would be satellite-based, and there's an American satellite system and there's a Russian satellite system that would pick up these signals very clearly. If the vessel sank or something happened to the vessel, they are automatically ejected from the vessel, these radio beacons, and they would be sending out a signal.
Right. Well, you know, that's all the time we have for right now, but it's definitely a very scary situation, and we'll continue to keep you updated on any developments that we hear. But for now, back to you in Moscow.
All right, Shreya, thank you very much indeed for that.